Hi everyone, I'm Donna Stellhorn, your practical astrologer, and today we are talking about the new moon. It's on May 26th, it's at 6 degrees of Gemini, and this is more than just an ordinary new moon because we have Mercury along with Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto all in the mix, and this is causing this ongoing cosmic shakeup that you've been feeling. In this video, we're going to be diving into this new moon chart to see how it's going to affect you and what new doors of opportunity it could be opening for you. And then at the end of this video, there's going to be a segment continuing our series about activating your part of fortune. So you want to stay tuned all the way to the end. So before we talk about the new moon chart itself, let's talk about the long-term horizon. And let's start with Uranus, which is at late degrees of Taurus. And this is not a great place for Uranus to be. This started in June 2024, and because I think we're even going to feel it in the early degrees of Gemini, we are looking at this energy until at least mid-2026. Now, the reason I say this is not a great place for Uranus is because Uranus is about disruption and sudden unexpected change, which can be the pleasant surprises that we all want and look for occasionally from the universe. But Taurus is about stability and security. And so when we put these two together, we get this energy of feeling like there's no stability and no security at all. And of course, this gets more difficult if we're searching for security and stability. It's like if we're on a roller coaster, we're not expecting anything but the ups and downs and, the startling changes that a roller coaster brings. And personally, I don't like roller coasters. You might not either, but that's kind of what we're on right now. And if we have the mindset that we're on a roller coaster, so there is a lot of changes going on, and we're not necessarily going to have that quiet stability for a while. If we can get into that mindset of we're expecting the unexpected changes, then things can be a little bit more comfortable, but more importantly, we can prepare ourselves to meet and greet the opportunities that are coming. Now, at the same time, Neptune is in Aries and Saturn joins Neptune in Aries on May 24th. And so if you think of Neptune as a vision of what you want, the picture in your mind, the beautiful utopian ideas that you have, Saturn is the planet of practicality, of the work that it takes to build that vision. And so it's kind of like the architect drawing the blueprints from what you are saying your vision is. And so putting these two together, we get the picture of what you want and the plans to get there. So technically that's a great combination. So then if we look at Uranus as dislodging us or getting us unstuck from a place where maybe we're in a rut or maybe we're not seeing the opportunities around us, then it makes sense that we have all of this energy together to help loosen us to a point where we can see the opportunities and then go through the open door. And then Pluto's role in all of this, as it's going to be traveling through Aquarius, is very much about this transformation of who we are as individuals as well as who we are as a society. And so this allows you, now that you've been dislodged and you have a new vision, to go find your group, your tribe, your audience. So it is quite possible that around the time of this new moon, you're going to receive some sort of message. And that message could come from someone you know, or something you've watched, or a message from the universe. Now, I know that sounds like a lot for one little new moon, but this new moon is making the trine to Pluto as well as the sextile to Neptune and Saturn. And so if we thought about a picture of this, to me it feels like the Three of Pentacles. Now, in the Three of Pentacles, we have the person with the resources, that would be Pluto. That person gets together with the person with the vision, that's Neptune, and the carpenter who has the skills, that's Saturn. And so that might those three roles might all be you, or you are pulling in that information from other sources, and together you're building your monument. And this is Gemini new moon. So a Gemini new moon is the spark of the idea. This doesn't mean that everything has to be built and completed in 2 weeks. It can't be. This is just the beginnings of the plans. And from there, then you have a direction, and then it's one foot in front of the other to get to your destination. And if you want to know what's ahead for you in 2025 and 2026, I do readings. These readings are live readings with me via Zoom, and we cover your questions, and so there's a link in the description. Okay, Gemini, this is your new moon, and your new moon comes around once a year. I mean, occasionally there'll be 2 Gemini moons, but that's another story. So, but this is your new lunar year, and that means that you have about 4 weeks, or sometimes even people say 3 months of seed planting time. And that means the more new things that you do and the more new people you meet, the more opportunities you will have for the entire year. So you really want to focus on doing new things, and that can be anything from going to new social events or meetup groups, exploring new avenues of education and information, going to new places, any sort of activity that puts you, that gives you more information or puts you in a situation where you get to meet new people could be considered planting a seed. And so, and this, because it's your new moon, you will also attract people to you. And so just going to a place, standing in the middle of the room, people will approach you and start talking to you, and that can help you connect with others. Now, when it comes to friendships and new love relationships, Mercury and Venus are in a semi-square, and a semi-square is an aspect which is really good, but it's a difficult one. It is one where you feel a little less prepared, or perhaps a little nervous, or you feel like the circumstances aren't quite right for meeting someone, or you meet someone but you're still in a relationship, and so you haven't quite gotten out of the old relationship yet. So there's some sort of obstacle or hurdle you have to get through. But the semi-square is still an aspect, and so it does bring you some opportunities. And if you can get past this idea of, ooh, this is not a good time, and just go for it, you could meet someone quite special. Now, when it comes to existing love relationships, Mercury is in Gemini and Jupiter is in Gemini, and they're on opposite sides of the sign, so they're almost 30 degrees apart. Technically, I think they're 26 degrees apart, 20, yeah, anyway, it's too much math. So the idea here is, and we have some real harmony between these two right now, but there is still some things that you have to work out. So that means with your partner that there may still be a little bit of irritation on either side. You know, your partner's getting the dishes to the kitchen, but they're not in the sink, or they're not in the dishwasher. So it's that you have one more hurdle, and then everything's better. And so this is a time where you could tackle that hurdle, where you can work things out, especially these small everyday things that can be little irritants. This is also, though, a time where the two of you may come together and feel a little bit more tired or not able to actually focus on each other. And that can cause a little bit of stress in the relationship. So if you're feeling that, recognize that you're giving off that vibe and they're giving off that vibe. And that just requires some communication, which is good because you're Gemini and you can communicate. Now, when it comes to money, you pull money from the moon, which is in a trine with Pluto, in that sextile with Saturn and Neptune, and is, of course, conjunct the sun, but also the Mercury, and it's reaching out to grab hold of that Uranus. So this is a time where it's your power, your ability is spreading out where you could grab more. Now, The problem is that you're not seeing the results right now, and that can be very frustrating. You can say, all these things that I'm trying aren't working, but you have to continue on the path that you believe in and give the universe some time to catch up to give you what it is you're looking for. So that is if you're trying to build an audience or build a business or to find a new job. This says keep going. You're heading in the right direction. Make little course corrections along the way, of course, but you're heading in the general direction that's correct. And it's just going to take you getting there to receive what it is you want. Now, when it comes to money from business or from investments, the moon's making a sextile to Saturn. So that means there is an opportunity to make more money over the next 2 weeks. Now, this is predicated on this idea of the sextile, which means you have to initiate the action. And that could mean sending out the invoices or talking to your broker or sitting down and looking at your finances in general. But there are opportunities for you to do well if you can, put the effort in and get the ball rolling. Once you do, a sextile energy is very positive. Now, when it comes to money derived from career, so that would be a paycheck, the moon is not making an aspect with Mars, but that area of your chart is lit up. So there is some stuff going on with your company, and that could mean that there are some major changes going on. These changes could affect you, and it could open up opportunities for you to slide into a different position that could help you out, or that maybe you are thinking it's time to move on. There is a lot of new energy here, so if you are thinking about making a change, lean into that and say, okay, what do I need to do to get that really rolling? So because there's no aspect right now between the moon and Mars, it's not recommended that you go in and demand a raise. You're probably not going to get anything more than more work. But there are certainly, with this energy, opportunities for getting a different position and then asking for more money or more perks or more benefits in some way so that you can compensate for, what it is. But this is more about looking at what kind of changes are going on around you and then making some adjustments so that you can then capitalize on these changes. In this third section of the video, I have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to talk about activating your part of fortune. Every month I offer a free class. It's called New Month Wishes, and it falls on the first day of the month at 12 p.m. Pacific time. There is now a much easier way to register for this class. Just click on the link in the description and you put in your name and email, and you will get the Zoom link and you will get some information about this class. And so what we do in this class is we talk about the astrological energies for the month, and then we together write our wishes for the month and we activate them together with a short meditation. The class is really fun and I hope you join us. I'm also teaching a class on finding the best day to do anything, and this is based in Chinese astrology on the 5 elements. It's a really simple method of determining the energy that you have and the energy of the day and seeing how you can utilize the energy of the day to get the things done you want to get done. This class is part of a summit where I'm speaking with a bunch of people who are talking about very interesting topics like spirit guides and altars and all kinds of things. And so there's a link to this summit in the description. And if you like videos like this and you would like to support me and astrology in general, there is a join button next to the subscribe button, and I appreciate your support. So the part of fortune in your chart, as we've talked before, is not a planet. It is just a point, and it is derived from your sun, moon, and ascendant. It is a place where you feel that you can gain and where you feel fortunate. Today we're going to be talking about the part of fortune going through the houses. If you don't know where your part of fortune is, I can send you a PDF of your chart. There's a link in the description, and then just put in the subject line that you want to know where your part of fortune is. If you have part of fortune in the first house, you have the ability to feel what is wanted and needed by others, and this can make you very popular. So with this placement, you make most of your headway through your own efforts. If you have part of fortune in the second house, you have gains through things that you could own or tangible things. So things like collectibles, antiques, land, other physical items. You also can get a lot of help from business people, and there are opportunities for you to gain if you deal with people in finance. If you have part of fortune in the third house, gains come to you through your knowledge, and that is as you collect information, you find opportunities. You also gain a lot through travel and meeting people, especially in foreign lands. And then you can also do gains getting help from siblings or neighbors. So, and by neighbors, I mean people in your local community. If you have part of fortune in the fourth house, your luck is around real estate. And so that is about selling real estate or owning real estate or doing anything that helps people connect with home. You can also get support from family members, and if you build yourself a strong foundation, and that would be like having an emergency fund and having some basic skills, you can really build towards material success. If you have part of fortune in the fifth house, you have good abilities when it comes to creative things, and this could include art or music, design, acting. You also may have special connections with children, as well as you get extra luck when it comes to speculation. If you have part of fortune in the sixth house, it's going to sound a little counterintuitive, but you actually have an easier time finding a job, and you might find a very good paying job. Additionally, you find things that benefit your health, which is one of the greatest wealth things out there, because when you feel good, then you can do many things. So your luck and your opportunities for gain are often around health-related things. If you have part of fortune in the seventh house, you have a gift of dealing with other people. So that would be negotiations or doing contracts. You also can gain through marriage, and you can gain through finding the right business partners or doing the right collaborations. Now, if you have part of fortune in the eighth house, then luck settles into the areas of business income, passive income, as well as things like inheritance. This can also mean wins, and so from wins, like unexpected money coming in, this would be kind of predicated on some of the other aspects that are happening that are attached to your eighth house or in the eighth house. But that part of fortune there does give you some opportunities, even for lottery. If you have part of fortune in the ninth house, you get more luck in general, which is very nice. You can also have good encounters and benefits from in-laws. You can find that travel brings you a lot of luck and benefits and material gain. And you can also get material gain through education, or that you can find things like financial aid more easily. If you have part of fortune in the 10th house, then luck and gains and opportunities do come through business or your career. It also helps give you a good reputation and social standing. It helps attract people to you so you can gain a following, and it helps you move up in your career within a company or to expand your business. If you have part of fortune in the 11th house, then friends bring you luck and gain. So as you widen your circle of friends, you have more opportunities for that. You also can, since you're quite inventive, you could invent something that brings you financial benefits. You could also receive a good, strong salary with part of fortune in the 11th house. If you have part of fortune in the 12th house, there is more general luck and protection in your life. There's more of an active guardian angel. You also have good abilities when it comes to art and music and design. You can do well working for a large company. You can also trust your gut a little bit more, that because you have enhanced psychic gifts. So next month, I think we're going to continue this theme of prosperity. And so we're going to be talking about some of your different money houses that you have in your chart. You have more than one, and where they are pulling money from. So we're going to start to unravel that little puzzle so that you can find where the money is in your life. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to the newsletter, consider doing so. It's an illustrated weekly newsletter, and it talks about the energies for the week, and you can sign up. There's a link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.